Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we're doing part 2 of this page here. We're coloring in Johanna Basford's World of Wonder, a coloring book of the curious. We're coloring the castle here in the tree. Part 1 we did the frame and this castle here, and then I just off camera did the gray and the blue on the other ones. We're going to work today on the tree. So we're going to start off with some of the greens. Yeah, they're way up here, so I have to grab them, sorry. I just grab all the pencils at the same time. Okay, we got a couple of greens and a kind of a yellowish color. We're going to color in these leaves first before I do some inking. So we're going to grab the color I have here, I don't know, 161 or 116, sorry. I transpose numbers all the time. So we're just going to color in these leaves. This is a kind of yellowish green. If you wanted to use different colors, this is probably what it's called. Yellow green, yellowish green. And we're just going to add some of the yellowish green all over a portion of these leaves. It'll be our highlighted color. And there are a lot of little leaves here. So we want to get them all. And I know I'll miss a couple of them. You can scream at me, but I won't hear you, so it doesn't make any difference. But I'll know you're telling me. We'll do the little ones out here too because I want them all the same color. And we have floating leaves out in this area. Any more leaves in the trees, in the border, and somewhere. Okay, done with that color. Now we're going to go in with 43 and add a deeper color in here. It'll blend right over the lighter color and you'll get this beautiful little variegated leaf. And since I wasn't too careful of putting the exact amount of yellowish green on every petal, we'll have a nice variety of leaf changes in here. So how are you all doing today? Yesterday I took my daughter out shopping at the craft store and got a fun little book that should be up on my channel already. So if you wanted to check that out, I could probably use it to add a few more little things in here if I wanted to. I'll have to see how it ends up. Yeah, we thought we would take a quick little jaunt up to the craft store yesterday, which turned into a huge mess. We had fun at the craft store. Don't get me wrong, it's the traffic we hit on the way home. The craft store is about a 20-minute, half-hour drive. Where I live, it's not really close to much, so I mean, we always drive somewhere. But it's kind of fun because we can get to a whole nother city in about a half hour. I think that looks pretty good. We'll do that on these. So on our way home, I noticed there was a bit of traffic where there shouldn't be traffic. I missed a blue flower. Oh boy. I'll have to find the blues again. So yeah, we took a corner and boom, nobody was moving. There's only one road into my area, one road out. It's not like I know different ways to get anywhere. The blues. Pull blue down here on this little flower, the light blue first. And I don't know if this is the right blue, but we'll add a little of that in there. That looks good enough. Okay, so we were in this traffic, moving about a ½ inch at a time. It took us an hour and a half to get home. Oh, but at least I had good company. We just turned the radio up. I'm going to bring out another little green here. This one is a 94. Just going to add it into a couple of these leaves. So yeah, it was an interesting drive home. There was an accident on the freeway. So they diverted, well, they closed the freeway down. They diverted all the traffic onto the one and only side street. And the one and only side street is one lane of traffic. So that was an interesting trip. Nice little quick trip up to the store. There, we're going to put this in the grass too. There we go. We'll add some of that yellowish green in there. There we go. We got some nice leaves. Okay, now we're going to get out some distress ink. We started off with vintage photos, so we'll just go ahead and use it. I need a tool. That little one's not going to do for this big tree, so we will get one out. Got a clean one here, which is unusual for me, but bought myself some new ones. I'm just going to load up the ink here, rub it, get it in here. I'm only going to ink up half of that. I'm going to work it into the pad. I don't want it just sitting on the outside of that, so there we go. I'm going to go ahead and go in here, and I'm going to use this line, this edge right here, for that line right there, and I'm just going to take it very, 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 very lightly, just bring it on up. Okay. When I do this, I put on a little tiny pressure, not even. I could just move it like that. It's that much pressure. Not pushing down on it at all. I am just sliding it across the page. Okay. Go up this branch. Very lightly bring it up into those areas. If it goes over, it goes over. Tree kind of has the lines going this way, so I'm going to use that and pull some of that color over. There's kind of a little lump here. We'll go on top of that. There's a lump here. Turn it and go on that side of that. I'm just following the lines in the book. Okay, we'll take some up this branch. We're going to pull some of this into the castle too, so we'll just do that in the darkest areas, and we'll just bring some of that brown right up in there. Even do it on the blue roofs. And just get some of that color in there. Okay, I can bring that up here. Right across that line and pull it down. And just lightly get it in there. Gonna put a little of this up here and we'll get the little one. These castles. Want a little brown up there too. There we go. And if you want, you can take a little more of that and stick it in these knots. Pull some of that up. If I go outside the lines, it doesn't bother me any. Might bother you, but you could take a little more care at it than I am. Bring some of that down and darken up these areas a little bit. Make sure we get it around the, oh, we'll even do the door here. There's a little bit in there. Those might be windows for all I know, but we're going to darken them. There we go. Get a little dark up here. Do the rest of that with pencil. We have some brown pencils here somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe that's a brown, that's a black, brown, bring in a yellow, bring in a green too. Not that one. Another pencil out here. Thought I had an olivey green out here. Let's see what numbers we have. 78. Do I have 78 out here at all? Hiding? Or is it over here? No, on that side. It's got to be out on my desk then. That's a blue one. It's 48, but that'll work. Okay, browns. We're going to start off with a medium kind of brown. It's about the same color as what we're inked in here. Get you down a little closer and you can see what I'm going to do here. So we'll just take this color and darken up some areas. And we can bring that up there too. Okay, we're going to pick up a darker color. It's 23. I'm going to go around these areas a little darker. So we're just going to add some details in here with some extra lines. Just kind of bring that color up gently. Put a little more pressure on that if you want it darker. Just trace over those lines and darken them up a little. I'm going to go on the underside of these lines and then bring that color out this way. When you get down here, you can exaggerate those lines, connect them. And just shadow them in. That way we'll get a lot of crinkles in the tree here, which is always fun. I like doing trees. I should say I like doing tree trunks. I'm not crazy about doing all the leaves on a tree. Sorry about that. I'm gonna move the book and I have to move stuff out of my way. I'm going to turn that book a little bit here so I can get that angle right. Can bring it right over that green and shadow those guys too, because they're behind this front end. Very light pressure there, darker the pressure down here at the very edge. And just pull it up into the other areas. Bring some lines down here. Bring in the other color that you had first started with, number 20, and pull some of that color in here too. I'm going to throw a little of this number 90 in here in the highlighted areas because we want to keep those brighter. It's also the color we did the lights. And a little bit of the leaves will just go right over them. Bring that color right in there. Back with the darker color and go around in here. And pull that color down. I'm going to really darken it here under the castle, so we're going to bring some of that color right up into it. It's a shadow color. Okay, right into the door. Just kind of make it look so it's not sitting on top of the branch, but kind of in the branch. Okay. Lighter color in there. Go all the way up the branch on that one side. And all the way up the branch on this side. That may sound scratchy on the microphone because it's closest to the pencil, but it's really pretty smooth on this paper. Medium color. So I hope you're all doing well. Not getting any heat waves here. We're lucky that's all gone. I mean, it's still up there in the high 80s, but I mean, we're not, you know, scorching ourselves with 111. Guess he didn't like waiting in traffic. We're having a little road work done. They're putting in a new ramp. We have a lot of parks, and wheelchair access is a high priority up here. So they're putting in another ramp right up the street here. I'm 3 houses away from a nice little park. You can take your dogs up there, or your kids. They have a playground. And then the school is up there also. I'm going to make that a line because it looks like I darkened an area there. I'll put one down from there. Hold on. Sorry. Kitty cat. Give me attention. Give it to me now. I'm going to scratch you to pieces, is what he decided to do. It's not usually that picky, but I haven't really gone out of the house much, and yesterday when we were gone for so long in traffic, he got a little, shall we say, little miffed at me. It's like, where did you go and why did you leave me so long? You can't do that ever. So he's been a little clingy. Just going to go over those lines with the brown. This is the darker brown. So. Just go around and darken up all of those. Add in some lines if you want. You don't have to. You also don't have to use 5 colors to color these in. Like me. I like putting in a lot of different colors. I think I'll put in a little red if I can find a... Not a red, a red-brown red. 21. It's a brown red and pencils are falling on the floor. So we're going to throw a little of that in here in some areas. Brighten up the brown a little bit. Throw some of that in this door. Can you see all this? Okay, more of this color right in here. This is number 90. Okay, and let's see. Go back to number 20, which is our medium color. Gonna go up this branch here and just bring that color over. A little darker down here. And we're going to go inside here. A shadow going in there. And a little bit on the window here. And that one definitely looks like a window. Darker color for the frame of the door. Steps. A little bit of the lighter color. I'll erase it down there. And the lightest color. Okay, then we'll bring in a little more of the Distress ink here. We're just going to darken the bottom of the door. Go in here and darken that. It'll slide a little easier here on all the oily pencils. Okay, now we're going to bring in a little green. Our green is peeled paint. We use this little one and we're just going to add a little of that green in there. Right on top of all those greeneries. Along the base here, where we have green. We'll go inside there a little bit. Okay, we're going to take it up here where there might be moss growing on this side, and we're going to add a little green there. A little green on that side. into the castle a little. Okay, I like to play around with the ink so it goes on everybody. A little up here on these castles. They'll reflect some of the green that is coming off the tree also. Okay. Maybe I'll bring in just a hint of a darker brown in there, which I have to find, so hold on a moment. I've got walnut stain, which is darker, almost black dark. Just going to use the same tool here, get some on there, and then add a little bit of the darker color. Like the bottom of the tree here, it's in the shadow. Bottom of this branch is in the shadow. Kind of this side. Got a little bit up here, shadow down here, shadow across here. Mix that together. Door. There we go. Okay. We're going to let that dry because I don't want to be moving my hand over it. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to touch up these little leaves a little bit down here. I'm going to use the, oh, that's not very sharp. 43. And just darken them up a little on one side. Go back down here and darken these up a little bit just to get them a little greener. Especially where they hit the brown there. Okay, just add a little bit of that. Throw a little of that green in the door here. A little in here. Okay, then we're going to take a little black and darken just the inside of these. If we think there should be another line here, I'm just going to add one. We can go over that with brown if we want, or just leave it with the black. Okay, we're going to go all the way up. Oh yeah, we're going to put the black on the door here. The crossbars, the doorknob. We'll darken up in here and let that window shine. A little bit there. Darken the bottom tread of that stairs. And I think that's good enough for the tree trunk. It might get a little darker. I mean, I think it looks pretty good if you're not looking at it with all the lights on it. We're going to get up here into the canopy, our cloudy leaf area, which I'm going to do in greens. Let me find a, see what I bought? All excited. These will disappear in a matter of no time. Okay, sorry, bump the camera. Just going to put that on and get our green ink out. That is peeled paint. It is my favorite green. It kind of goes with everything. There are other greens, but this kind of gives you a soft, universal green. We're just going to do what we did down here. Use that line to go where the line is, set it down gently, and just pull it up. Barely any pressure on this at all. The reason we're setting it down on the line is so if we do get that little crease, you can blend it out by just pulling it very gently on the surface. If you want a darker line, you can just pounce it on there gently. Don't wiggle it around, just pounce, 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 and it'll darken it. You can practice this on a piece of paper, and then you don't have to worry about getting your lines on there. I was showing my daughter how to use these, and I told her, you know, because I wanted to be able to tell everybody else how to do it, because I've been doing it for so long, I forget. Baby pressure. It's like if you were trying to color or use this on a eggshell or something. You don't want to break the eggshell. You just want to use the very light pressure. Almost like a breath. You're just letting it flow across the page. You are not pushing down on it. Okay. All right, I'm going to get the whole thing inked up. Going to take it off the scrap piece of paper, get it worked in there, and then I'm just going to very lightly, see, I'm barely holding this, just lightly take it across that whole section. Let the tool do all the work for you. Don't put pressure down on it, just let it float. Okay, there we go. That's all we're going to do for that. We're going to go in with our pencils and darken it up. The same pencils we used down here on these guys, we're going to use up here. So wherever they are, we're going to use them. 48, 94, 43, and 116. We'll start off with a 116 because it's the lightest. I'm going to put it in the lightest areas where we want it. go in with, I don't even know what colors these are. It's a medium green, olive green. Don't like that color. We're ditching that one. So, 43 is the olive color. We're going to go where our darkest shadows are, like in here. Go really dark, which you're just pushing down heavier pressure, and then just bring it on out. Okay, under here. And if you don't like doing these as green puffs of the tree, you could do these as clouds. Do them in blue colors, which would look really cool too, because then you would have clouds as part of the tree, and your castle would be up in the clouds. So under these lines, I'm just going to make it darker green. Let's see what this one does. Blend that out a little bit. Okay, well, I goofed. This is the olive green, but that's okay. Let's see. I'm just going to erase that one color out up here. Go over it with the olive green. Okay, darken it up here and then just bring it down. Her lines are a little bumpy here, and I'm just going to follow that bump kind of line and give this tree a little more texture here where we don't have lines. That tree's behind the other tree, so want to make sure it's puffy. I'm going to turn the book a little bit. Try to keep our puffs in line here. So under here, darkest. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put little puffs. We have to make it darker under there. I wonder if we have a darker olivey green color chart. Greens on this side. So right now I am using 48. I need the 78. Let's see. Here we go. 78. And that should be a nice dark color. We're going to go in there with that. And we'll add that in. Let's see. Okay, just between those two colors, we're just going to be shading them in. And we'll add the lighter green to make sure we keep our highlights. Okay, kind of see what I'm doing there. Giving it a lot more texture than this side over on this side. Okay, just keep adding in some lines and shadowing up on the top. So like on this side here, we'll sharpen or darken this side up on this top. We'll bring in a line here and shadow up here. This one here can come down and shadow on the top. There we go. We'll bring in the lightest green. Scrap piece of paper. Where did you go? Make sure that's the lightest green. Yep. Okay. And just highlight the tops of these. Here and there. Okay, then we'll bring in a cream color. 69. And we're just going to turn that from white to cream. Soften it up. We'll make sure you get all that color on there, because I have a feeling I'll be inking the background and I don't want to not have pencil somewhere. So between that, we have to figure that out. I'm going to throw a little of that light green in some more areas to brighten it up a little bit. Then I'm just going to darken it up later. Okay, so that is what we're going to do with these. I'm going to do that off camera, so when I come back, this will all be done like this, and then we will do something with the background, and I have to finish the frame part. Okay guys, I'm gonna have to call it. This is taking a little longer than I thought, but that's what we have so far. And I'm gonna do a little more coloring on both sides of these to darken it and give it some depth. So I have to stop. I've got other things I've got to do today. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, leave them down in the description box or the comment section down below, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. And I hope to see you in part 3. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.